Karen, I want to thank you for giving a platform for professional voices, particularly people of color. Uh, you and I have been friends for a long time, and I get on all the shows that you can imagine when I want to talk. I'm lucky that way. But there are a lot of people who look like me, who are equally educated, equally articulate, who are not giving a platform on major shows. And, they won't bring on African American or Latinx people of experts to talk about things like education or sociology or medicine or law. They will only bring us on when we're an entertainer or an athlete or we do something salacious. There is a talk show with an African American host, with an African American executive producer that has said to publicists, do not pitch us your Black clients. We are not a Black show. Pitch us your white clients. We don't want to be looked at as a Black show. Once again, it's an African American TV host with an African American executive producer. For those who don't know TV, that means that that person's in charge of the show, who have sent messages to publicists around the country that do not pitch us your Black clients, pitch us your white clients. We are not a Black show. However, this show will continue to bring on Black experts when they do something salacious, when they're in the headlines for doing something bad. Then they'll bring Black people on to talk about that, but they won't bring us on to talk about COVID, to talk about education, to talk about the law, when we can look professional and experts. And I'm putting this show on blast because when white shows and white hosts don't let us on, we criticize them. But the same criticism has to be held for shows that are helmed and hosted by Black people that keep us off the airways. And it's just not right. There are a lot of brothers and sisters who deserve to have time, who have good information to share beyond Dr. Ian Smith. I know I get on all the shows. I've been doing this for a long time, but there are other people who are as good, if not better than me, and they can't get on, and that's not right.
Okay, what's the show?
Well, you figure it out. You're a journalist.
No, you're not. No, you're not gonna do that.
No.
Come on. What's the show?
You an old school journalist from the Daily News. We go way back.
I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for this. Is it a cable news show? Is it a talk show? Oh,
it's a talk show on a main channel.
Now, did the person pass out with a Statue of Liberty outfit on?
Nope.
Okay, it's not that one because she's had you on. She's had you
on.
Is it on? Is it syndicated?
It's syndicated.
It's syndicated.
Yeah.
Oh, was this person formerly? Was she formerly on? Is it a she? It's a she. Was she formerly on cable and then was on NBC and then moved to her own show with her name on? Is it that one? Okay.
Hey, Karen,
I think we should call a name. Call the name.
Let me ask you a question. Karen, let me ask you a question. You know, as someone who is a pundit who's been on lots of shows over your career, you know how hard it is for bookers to book us on shows on national platforms. It's hard for us to get on those shows unless we do something crazy. So you know how bad I must feel. You know how bad I must feel that someone who's an African American with an African American executive producer would do this to brothers and sisters. Is wrong.
But you understand the depraved way in which white supremacy operates, right? So as a Black person, you know you got that opportunity for that $1 million check because you capitulate and you make white people comfortable. You got to wait. First of all, number one, white people got to be comfortable around you because they're not going to be uncomfortable and give you that $1 million check. So you got to already know there's a compromise there, right? So you also believe that not that the ice water is colder, but that I don't want to be pigeonholed as a Black host. Let me say, full disclosure, when I first got here on Sirius XM, I had options to be on different channels, right? Because I have a vast background. My background is, and it's widely not Black, right? I've only worked for one Black company in my entire life. So I was thinking, I don't want to be on the Black channel because y'all don't give it enough resources. Y'all don't pay it enough attention. Y'all not really considering it as valuable because you don't have salary. They told me we don't have any money. So I already had assessed that. And I'm like, nah, I've been doing this long enough. But then I made another decision because I value Black people. So I'm going to be on this channel. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like. And 6 years later, we have proven the point. But I understand there is a level of valuation And if you want to be at the Oprah level, because Oprah's main audience were white women, Oprah had white women and they loved Oprah because they felt very, she was familiar to them. She didn't make them feel bad about themselves.
Talk about it.
So yeah, I mean, I get it.
See, but Karen, let me tell you something. Here's the other part of it. The viewing audience of that particular show is 80% black female.
But Drew McCaskill will tell you. So let me tell you, Drew used to work for an outlet that followed the numbers. We over-index on all of those daytime talk shows, on all of those TV shows, because we're the audience. We watch more television than any other group in this country. We make everything hot, which is why Fox, if they're gonna start a new network, they're gonna do it with black shows because Fox we're the drivers.
That's right. And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing is, if those 80% audience, those black women, if they only knew that the person you're watching every day has sent a mandate to her producers to not book African Americans unless they did something scandalous and embarrassing and shameful. If they only knew that, but see, they don't know that. But hopefully they'll do their research and realize it. And sooner or later, someone's going to call them out by name of who this person is. I'm
gonna do that as soon as you tell me who it is. I'm gonna do it by name because I'll put the blood on my hands. And it won't be real blood. It's gonna be fake blood. I know who it is.
You know who it is.
I'm gonna name the name after you're gone because you clearly don't want to name the name out.
I just want to say, I'm saying who it is. Obviously, I give you all the descriptions and not many shows helmed by black people on syndicated.
Did they just have a baby?
Yeah. It's terrible.
I knew that too. So let me say this too. When they got their show, I saw them on the train, and it is interesting because I never get invited to those kinds of shows anyway. It's funny, It's like, okay, that's interesting. But they came and made the rounds to do publicity and wouldn't come here until somebody must have said, hey, she got a big audience. So I had them on, but then the second time around, I was like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. So that's how that feels. So now you can't come back.
Yeah.
And these shows do not win when they bet against black audiences. You just don't win when you bet against black audiences.
Drew, she's not betting against a black audience. She has the audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's betting that black people are used to dirty water.
Yes.
And that you're going to keep drinking it because the Shade Room is number one. TMZ, you got Wendy out there with the trash. You got all. So you got all.
Or you think that black folks are a guarantee?
Right. We watch Tyler Perry, so we're gonna do all of the girl and all of that. So we can bring us on as minstrels, doing minstrels.
That's right.
But the highbrow thing is not us.
And let me tell you something. And this is not against the white audience. Like you, Karen, I have spent my career on majority stations and majority shows. I have a very large white following. I love all my following, Asian, Latinx, Black. It doesn't matter. I am who I am to everybody, and I try to help everyone. However, I could not sleep at night if I did not say publicly that it is a travesty that someone of color two people of color could be in the position that they are in and to not reach back and open up their platform for a diverse, I'm not saying only black people on the show, I'm saying a diverse, I'm on the Rachel Ray show. She has everyone on the show, black, white, Asian, Latino, it doesn't matter. But for someone to actually say to people, do not, and I'm telling you, I quote, do not pitch us your black clients, pitch us your white clients because we are not a black show. That is disgusting to say in this year, and people should be held accountable for that.
All right. So,
all right, guys.
Tamron Hall, you heard it.